Lyme disease and the frequency of healing. Where does true recovery begin? For many, Lyme disease is more than a diagnosis. It's a long, lonely journey through fatigue, confusion, pain, and being told it's all in your head. It begins, often, with something so small, a tick bite, but what follows can unravel a life. You may be told it's all bacterial, that antibiotics will fix it, and for some they help. But for millions, Lyme becomes chronic, resisting conventional treatments, shifting symptoms, and creating a web of dysfunction no pill can untangle. But what if Lyme isn't just a pathogen problem? What if it's a vibrational collapse? Your body is not a battlefield. It's an orchestra. Every cell in your body vibrates, like strings on a finely tuned instrument. Together, these vibrations create the symphony that is you. But Lyme doesn't just infect the body. It distorts your cellular resonance. It throws your biofield out of tune. It masks your immune system, scrambles your nervous system, exhausts your mitochondria, and worst of all, it's invisible to standard medicine, because it lives between chemistry and energy. This is why so many people with Lyme feel unheard, unseen, and misdiagnosed. Lyme disease as a frequency disruption. Lyme doesn't just disrupt biology, it disrupts the body's electrical language. And that's where the new frontier of healing lies, not in chemical warfare, but in frequency restoration. Modern medicine treats symptoms, pain, inflammation, fatigue. But symptoms are just the body's way of saying, I've lost my signal. Does true healing happen when that signal is restored? What if you could retune the body? Tools like the multi-wave oscillator, Rife machines, and PEMF devices don't treat Lyme the way drugs do. They don't attack, they remind. They deliver frequencies your cells recognize. They retune the body's electrical field. They clear static, reignite energy, dismantle chaos. They recharge the immune system and assist in destroying pathogens. In short, they don't just fight Lyme, they out-resonate it. Technologies that help the body remember wellness. Here's how they work. Rife machines target pathogens using their exact resonance, like shattering a glass with the right pitch. As the Lyme spirochete desperately mutates into different forms in the presence of antibiotics, the antibiotics can quickly be rendered ineffective. However, with the machines, slight changes in bacterial structure can easily be accommodated by changing the frequency slightly. For example, if the MOR for a spirochete is 400 Hz, and the spirochete changes its form slightly to avoid being nuked, the new MOR for the changed spirochete might be 398 or 402 Hz. By sweeping through frequencies, you will affect these mutated forms. Even if the spirochete continues to change its body structure, you can continue to vary the frequency. There are limits beyond which the spirochete would be unable to change. For example, a spirochete cannot change into a frog. Therefore, there are certain ranges of frequencies that work well when doing applications as regards Lyme. Instead of using one simple frequency, such as 400 Hz, you will apply with a sweep around that frequency. An example would be a sweep from 390, 410 Hz. This sweep accounts for the various forms the spirochetes may have mutated to. The spirochetes that reacted did die in 20 minutes to 2 hours. 600 Hz had the same effect. I knew that the response curve for resonance was symmetrical. So I went to the midpoint of 612 and found this frequency to be more effective. 920 seemed to be another kill frequency, and it occurred to me that I was on a harmonic of 306. I tested 306 and found it to be the most effective for killing spirochetes. In fact, my wife and I had a Herxheimer for 3 days, from looking in the microscope when its coil was running at that frequency. Frequency starts 625, 611, 305, and 20 Hz. Reaction. As with antibiotic treatment, there was a garish Herxheimer response, with symptoms becoming worse before they went away. 20 Hz was also found to be effective, Later tests showed 27 Hz may be better. The treatment continued once a month for 6 months before most symptoms disappeared. Note, care should be taken in startup treatment because of large Jarisch-Herxheimer reactions. Expect approx 1-2 years for recovery. Rife machine multi-wave oscillators flood the body with a full harmonic field, letting each cell choose the frequency it needs to restore balance. Lakhovsky viewed disease or illness as a battle of vibrations between the cells of the body versus viruses and bacteria. If the pathogenic organisms won this vibrational contest, the cells would become energetically weakened and more susceptible to disease. According to Lakhovsky, the way to counter this vibrational attack was to introduce a broad spectrum of RF, radio frequency, harmonic energies into the system, and then, through the principle of sympathetic resonance, each cell would pick out exactly the proper frequency needed to reinforce its own internal vibration, and the healthy cell would be more resistant to vibrational attack from virus and bacteria. His method of achieving this was by means of his invention that is known today as the multi-wave oscillator. Lakhovsky's antenna design creates layered, omnidirectional resonance that engages the entire body, not just one organ. PEMF devices recharge mitochondrial voltage and clear electromagnetic blockages. Each of these tools speaks to the energy body, and that's often where Lyme hides. Science is catching up. Bioelectromagnetics is no longer fringe. Studies show that frequency therapies can influence immune cells, disrupt microbial biofilms, stimulate detox organs, recharge cell voltage, restore coherence in neural networks. These are not placebo effects. They are biological responses to the right vibration. You're not broken, you're out of tune. If you've been battling Lyme or caring for someone who has, remember this: you are not weak, you are not imagining it, and you are not your disease. You are a system in need of resonance. Not suppression, not war, but restoration. Where to begin? At Altered States, we've spent over 40 years helping people reconnect with the forgotten technologies that restore the body's harmonic intelligence. We've built and refined frequency-based tools that speak directly to the vibrational roots of conditions like Lyme, and we've seen the results. If you're ready to explore what healing feels like, not just what treatment looks like, start here. Explore frequency healing for Lyme. This isn't alternative. This is original, and it's time to remember the signal you were born with. To coherence, clarity, and your return to resonance, the Altered States. Team Vibrational Medicine for real-world healing since 1996.